We're back with your favorite program, the League of the Genuine Conversations, the only program on the planet that discusses the important but often ignored subject of counterfeits. As always, we have a special guest with whom we have a conversation. The conversation is intended to generate awareness and understanding, deeper understanding on this subject. For a change, this week we are talking to a guest who is in the freight forwarding, the clearing business, the guys who handle imports, exports in and out of the country. Please join me in welcoming the Managing Director of JM Freight Services, Mr. John Rick Oswara. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Yeah, John, of course, I know you as somebody who has been in this business for more than 20 years.
More than 20 years.
From small, humble beginnings to you're now moving big things, which means that you have a fair appreciation and understanding of this business. But at the same time, John, during the last 20 years you've been operating, we have seen more and more counterfeits, fake, substandard products coming onto the market. From where you're standing as a clearing agent, doing forwarding, what do you think is causing this problem? Why do we have a lot of fakes on the market?
Thank you, Fred. To start with, I've also been a victim of the fake products. I remember one time buying a shoe which gave way within one day of wearing it. And also, I think there's lots of drugs as well, yeah? Which affects me, affect my family, affects everybody in Uganda. And I think all this is caused by, would I say laxity, or would I say smuggling, where UNBS, or maybe lack of capacity on the UNBS side, I'm not sure about whether that is, that's what causes it. But I think all in all is that it happens through, can I say, laxity and surveillance of what's coming in.
Or negligence, you're saying that?
I wouldn't say negligence, but I think because I know UNBS tries their best, yeah?
But capacity-wise?
But the capacity, maybe. I think it's the capacity to check and know that this is really genuine, this is not genuine, this is counterfeit. I think that's where the problem is. But give it to them, UNBS is also trying their best to check, placing officers at all entry points to check what is coming in. And a few times, I know for sure, they have been able to catch counterfeits product coming into the country.
On a few times, but the number just keeps increasing. You see, here on this platform, we think that the consumer has a big role to play. Because we may blame UNBS, we may blame customs, we may blame government, but John, me and you are the ones providing a market for these fakes. They will not be importing them or manufacturing them and putting them on the market if we were not buying. So do you see the consumer also playing a big part in promoting this vice?
Yes, the consumer, of course, would have a role to play. The only limitation to that is that a consumer will not know how to differentiate between a fake and a genuine product. So it becomes very difficult. I go to a shop, buy, for example, a black label for a drink. I will never know whether this one is genuine or this is a counterfeit. It becomes very, very difficult, Fred, on that one, I think. But it's only after. I've had a few people. After you've bought the drink, I'm just using a black label.
Because I know you take whiskey.
Yes.
You enjoy your whiskey.
Yes,
but when I used to drink, I also used to enjoy my whiskey.
Yes.
I don't drink anymore. But these days, it's very challenging to have that real whiskey. You're not sure whether that is the Scotch you...
That's very true. And it's after you've tested it, a few people, after testing, you know, oh, this is not genuine. But I think where the problem comes in is that after you've discovered it's not fake, you don't know who to run to. Many people will not know who to run to report and say, no, somebody, I bought this from such and such a shop and it was fake. Or what happens, many people will return it to the shop and say, you sold me something fake. Yeah, I don't know what happens. Of course, the seller will deny and say this is genuine, or maybe it was, but it's very difficult for me. I return it, I will not know whether it was fake or whether he's telling me the truth that it's maybe it was, because he will tell you he also bought it somewhere. So a consumer, yes, would have a role, but it's so very difficult.
It is so very difficult.
I mean, you test it, it's not genuine, you go back to the seller and say, no, I also bought it like that. Unless this consumer has the capacity to go back and force the seller to tell them where they bought it from until they get to the source of where that product came from.
So, John, do you think the brands, the manufacturers of these products, are doing enough to tell us what the genuine is, what the fake is? What are they helping us in this differentiation that you're talking about? Because here we have an acronym called Dankani that we've developed. These are the drivers of counterfeit culture. Differentiation is one of the things that you have talked about. You've talked about negligence, or, you know, we are not doing enough. Don't you think the differentiation is better told to you as a consumer by the manufacturer of the product?
Most
and do you think they are doing enough?
No, I don't think many are doing enough. I've heard a few companies coming out and talking about their product, trying to differentiate them from the counterfeits. A few companies in Uganda I've heard.
Like
on
which
radio, which company, for example, did I hear right now? Which one? Where they say this one, when you see this brand, our logo is...
I had something already, I think, for Shell Gas.
Shell, not only Shell, there's another company, I think. A few companies, really, I wish I could remember any, which have come out and said, this one is fake. If you're buying this, this is fake. This, they even put the adverts in the newspapers, if you have seen it. They'll put in an advert, or a picture of a fake product and the genuine product. I think if you have done that. But as far as I can recall, many companies are not doing that. I wish they could come out and tell the public, this is genuine, this is not genuine. Or even come out to go to people like this UNBS when you're importing. Give them all the specs of your product which is genuine. For example, Unilever, you say our soap is ABCD, ABCD. When it's coming in, check for this. That can be checked by UNBS at verification. And maybe that...
So UNBS, of course, doesn't check counterfeits. It checks standards. But that's for another day. Of course, as a country, we don't have a specific body that deals with counterfeits, though customs has a duty under the classification of prohibited goods. They have a duty also to stop counterfeits. But now, John, for you are joining us to complain about counterfeits, and yet you belong to the family of clearing agents who help these fakes. Okay, you allow genuine to come in, but you also clear a lot of counterfeits, and they come into the market. So you cannot be seen to be complaining when you also bring, you contribute. So what is the role of the clearing agent in fighting counterfeits, if any?
I don't see a role specifically for clearing agent to fight counterfeits. Because basically the role of a clearing agent.
First of all, what is a clearing agent? You are who's the agent?
We're the customer's agent, the person who appoints you. The
okay.
importer, yeah. And I think in a way we're an agent for customs because we're helping customs
to collect
taxes. Yes.
Okay.
So for us, our role is, you're bringing a product, you call me Fred, you say, okay, we're bringing in staff uniform, they're coming through the airport, these are the papers, they're arriving on such and such a plane. We wait, the goods come in, we lodge an entry with customs, you pay taxes.
The entry will have, for the viewers who may not understand this, the entry will have the details of the consignee, the owner of the goods, the consigner who is sending the goods,
the shipper,
the description of the goods,
exactly,
the
quantities, yes,
so there
and
is,
the values.
And the values. So meaning that the clearing agent has first-hand information,
yes,
about the goods that are coming in.
Yes.
So doesn't
as far as the paperwork is concerned, yeah.
So doesn't the clearing agent have a duty to verify the authenticity of this paperwork, because I know that there is a lot of false, forged declarations and fake ones. So don't you think that at that point you have a duty to ensure that what is written in the declaration corresponds with what the consignment is? Isn't that a role which can help us?
Yes, that's a role for a clearing agent. The clearing agent should be sure, should be a genuine one, should be able to differentiate between underdeclared goods, fake goods, underpriced goods, and the what? And the genuine ones. And that's what we're supposed to do.
So you're agreeing that you have some role?
Yeah, we have a role to do that. But you know what happens? Many people out there will not know. For example, Fred, I'll tell you, me as a clearing agent will use the documents you bring to me to clear the goods. I don't have the know-how to make out what the value is. For example, you brought in a shoe, you say it's $10, when actually it is $20. I'll not be able to know because I don't know what you negotiated with your shipper.
That is
or
value.
Your supplier.
That is value. But I'm talking of somebody gives you documents to clear pens. Okay? But in actual fact, they are not pens.
Oh yes, that one,
It is something else.
Yeah, that is like smuggling. Yes.
But we have those
Yeah, it happens. I'm
and
sure
your people are doing it.
There are people who will do that. But it will be, if you're caught by customs, because that is very, 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 very serious issue. If customs catches you doing that, you're suspended as an agent.
But
because you're smuggling goods.
Does it happen?
I'm sure it happens. But if you're caught, one of the punishments is that they suspend your company for doing that. Yeah.
So you can see that because you are an agent of the customer and an agent of customs, and fakes can come into your presence, you have a role, because there's a process called verification account of the goods. Once you are clearing them on a C7 to go into the market. The clearing agent is there when customs is verifying.
Yes.
Now, you will see this product. You said you have ever bought a fake shoe.
Yeah, I did.
So you are going to see with the memory of the fake shoe you bought for your son or for yourself, you're going to be faced with the same fake shoe in the verification exercise. Are you telling me that Mr. Oswara will just keep quiet and say, for me, that is the work of UNBS? You don't even raise any alarm when you clearly by your eyes, you're
but you know, Fred, sorry, I'm interrupting you. It would be very difficult for me as a layman to look at a shoe because it looks so nice, it's all well done, it's packaged very well. It will be very difficult for me to know at a verification that it's fake. It is only after it's on the market, maybe Fred has gone to that to a shop and bought that particular shoe, that you realize that, the sole is soil, basically. It's
no, John, really, I think, for example, one of the most counterfeited brands in the world is Nike. That I can say without. Nike, Apple, these are counterfeited. Now, John, you went to school. You know the spelling of Nike.
Yeah.
Nike. So if you're a clearing agent and you see a shoe which has a Nike or whatever it is, do you need to first consult anybody? Just the name is different. And we have these products on the market. You go downtown, you're going to find a sports shoe called Nike, Nico.
Like Philips and all those.
You see, Philips, with a single L. Sanyo. Are you saying that first with this kind of product which you are seeing clearly, you again fold your hands and say, and yet, you as a clearing agent, you are also a consumer. You give money to your relatives or your mother to buy things. It will turn around and take your money. Don't you feel a sense of that maybe clearing agents should be doing more here?
Yes.
The verification.
No, that's very true. Clearing agents should be doing more if we are given those powers. But for now, I think the clearing agents don't have those powers. If I saw it as myself, maybe, unless I turn into a whistleblower and say, okay, I'm calling so-and-so, there's a problem here. This is not Nike, it is just a forgery or something like that.
But we are all whistleblowers, John. If you see a crime happening, something wrong happening, You inform the police.
You
Even
can't
when
say
you're
there's,
driving, sometimes you see something funny. You call your friend, Afande, we are having something here. I think let's agree that...
no, genuinely somebody should be able to see that and report it out, yeah, during verification. But because many people, agents, restrict themselves to what they are supposed to do, to what is on paper, that yes, you are interface between the importer and customs, yeah, they're restricted. Many will restrict them to that role, themselves to that role, not going into finding out whether this is fake, is the spelling of Nike, because it also takes an eye. If you see like Sanyo, yeah, there are so many Sanyos, you will see SANYO, then another one ends with U. It will be very difficult for, it takes a trained eye to say, okay, now I'm going to look out, is this fake or not, for you to be able to see that. It becomes very difficult, yeah.
John, we need to take a break and come back with this conversation to understand more in terms of clearing and forwarding and how we can use it to fight fakes. We're back with the second segment of this interesting conversation on the role of freight forwarding in fighting counterfeits. I'm here with the Managing Director of JM Freight Services, a local clearing and forwarding company. But you're not really local. I saw on your profile you're having, are they boutique offices or satellite offices in the region? So you are a big boy, you know.
Yeah, we have branch offices. We are in Uganda. In Uganda, we're in Kampala, Bugolobi, we're in Entebbe, we're in Mutukula, we're in Malawa, we're in Busia. And then we have branch offices. Other countries, like Rwanda, we have our own office. In Dar es Salaam and Tanzania, we have our own office. In Kenya, we have a strong presence through a good partner. And we also have, we deal with the network of freight forwarders all over the world.
Which is called?
Global Transport Organization. The headquarters is in Texas and the USA.
So you're members?
Through that network, yeah, we're members. Through that network, we can pick up goods from anywhere to anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Now, John, our concern here is that 1 out of 5 products that are shipped across the world are fake. And you, freight forwarding, clearing companies, you're big boys, you're having a good life, you're making money, but you are bringing these fakes to our doorsteps, okay, to our markets, to our supermarkets, to the stores. Does the Global Freight Forwarding Association or the local one, do you have an anti-counterfeit policy? Do you have like a program to stop this vice?
As far as I know, I don't think.
Oh, you don't care?
No, would care. I would really care. If we're mandated, I believe it were mandated by government to say, okay, another role clearing agents can perform is to check for counterfeits. But as of now, I don't think we'll have that mandate unless somebody comes out and says.
You have a mandate as a human being to self-preservation. The first thing always is preserve yourself. Okay? Now, do you need government to tell you, John, that don't buy that fake medicine, don't buy that fake? That's a mandate we have as human beings. So don't you think maybe it is now time, seeing that global trade in counterfeits, which you facilitate, you guys, with your ships and trucks, and you're facilitating it, don't you think that it's high time maybe you take it to your association and say, guys, I've just been on a program and this fake thing is, counterfeit thing is becoming big. Can we include it from now onwards? Can we, for example, punish our members who facilitate counterfeit trade by clearing? Can we, so that you don't wait for customs to, but you internally, you self-regulate?
Oh yes, that's a very good suggestion. I'll actually, you know, in Uganda we have a Freight Forwarders Association. My company belongs to the Uganda Freight Forwarders Association.
How many are you there?
I think we're about 200. I'll just check because people keep joining. There's another organization for freight forwarders, USIFA, which is That's a very good suggestion, Fred.
You need to pay me for this suggestion.
Yes, you'll be paid.
Or I should become a member. I should
Become a member. We can arrange you even come and give us a talk. Actually, I talk to the chairman, to the board, and then you come and give us a talk about that. So that we self-regulate as an association. Sensitize our members on counterfeits and how to look out for counterfeits. And we say we are not only just doing clearing and forwarding, we look out counterfeit medicine, for example. Talk about medicine, cancer medicines. Yeah, these affect everybody in society. Anybody will fall sick. And if they're given counterfeit medicine, your child, anybody's child, his child, I mean, the medicine is not working. So, yeah, we all get affected. So it would be everybody's role. But now that needs sensitization, I'll bring it up in our association to the board and see if it can be taken up and see what sort of punishment. And then maybe the woofer can sensitize the other members, all members, and say, okay, this is another role we can be playing as giving back to society, generally. Yeah.
Because you see, as you're doing this business, counterfeits are also eating into your profitability, your efficiency, because I come to you to clear my goods, get them for me from Mombasa to Kampala.
Yeah.
Your turnaround time would be what, 2 days, 3 days?
3-4 days, yeah.
What can affect your delivery in 3-4 days? It can be fake tires on the trucks that you are using. Maybe it is a driver who has a fake driving permit, does not have good skills. It could be a motor accident or whatever. All these things are caused by fakes. So
Fakes.
if you
bad
are,
road, fake road.
yes, bad roads also, because, and I can see you're doing a lot of procurement for big projects.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe you carried some fake bitumen also.
Yes.
It went to do a road, and then your truck was carrying your customers' goods, and it collapsed.
It's really, yeah.
So don't you see that the counterfeits are actually also affecting the clearing and forwarding business in that sense?
Yeah, most definitely, yes. When you look at it from that sense, it's affecting everything. Actually, I think it's they're affecting everybody in all walks of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now for you, you are a big company, you have employees. Have you ever thought of the time you lose when, for example, your employees, let's say you have mothers in your organization. If your employee who has a sick child with malaria is going to take time off to attend to the child, and this child is treated with a fake anti-malarial, and the child does not heal within 3 days, but the child even becomes anemic, and it takes 2 weeks to heal, productivity
That's
at
really
your
affects.
company.
Yeah.
And then also maybe you're providing medical cover, and you as a company are going to spend more
You spend more money, yeah.
on treatment of your staff because of the counterfeit, which as an association you are not paying attention to.
Yeah, that's very true. It affects everybody. And like you said, it's very, very important, I think, as agents, clearing agents, forwarding agents, we come up with some kind of policy to see how every member, should be on the lookout for counterfeits. And like I said, it's something I'm going to really bring out in our association.
No, you had better, because today clearing agents are at work in Mombasa, they are working in your office, and you're eating food. What food are you eating?
Counterfeit.
But you clearing agents, you saw a headline the other day in the papers, I think it was the New Vision, which it was saying that we have fake vegetables and fake, being sprayed.
I saw it,
You saw the headline.
I saw that
But
one.
you, the clearing agents, never called a meeting. That very day you ate those tomatoes, and you're busy enjoying
And being happy.
but then you're falling sick. So this is a national issue. It's a national crisis.
It's actually,
Which I feel that we need to handle as quickly as possible. Let's go back a bit into your business. One thing that intrigues me most, okay, of course I know about how you do your work. I've done several cases on this. There is this concept of country of origin when you're importing goods or getting goods in. It's very, very important identifier for where the goods are coming from. And generally people think oh, China, goods are from China.
They're fake.
They are fake. But China makes genuine goods. Okay, there are some also fake goods which come from there. So tell me, do you guys as clearing agents see a red flag when goods are said to come from a certain country? Or for you it's business as usual? Do you like have goods from this category of countries, go this side, do extra checking? Goods from a certain country, those will pass. Do you have that profiling?
Yes and no. What happens is that in customs, they profile certain goods, yeah, as customs, not as clearing agents. There's the green goods which will go through green, then the goods which will go through blue, and there are goods which will have to be verified 100%.
In red?
In red.
So what does green mean?
Green means you pay taxes and they go through.
So green is like how the traffic light says green.
Green, yes. You pay taxes and the goods go through without verification or anything. Those ones they're very sure about.
Which kind of goods are got through green?
It really depends, and it also depends on who the importer is. If the importer has a good track record, many times, most of their goods will be profiled to go through green. If there's some doubt on the importer, a little doubt, yeah, then they'll check the documentation. That's when I think it's blue. And then red, if that importer has always been caught bringing in undervalued goods or whatever, then they'll go through red. They will need to be verified 100%. That's how it works. But it's not upon us as clearing agents to determine and say, okay, this one is from China, this one will have to verify 100%. This one is from UK, it's going through green. No, that is now the prerogative of customs. They're the ones who determine that.
But when you say that you can be allowed to go through green because of your good antecedents, your good character, is it good in terms of compliance with paying taxes, or good in terms of the quality you bring in? The goodness there is, what is the weighing scale?
The goodness is in terms of tax compliance. Most likely, that's what they look at. They don't look at the quality. But now, I think what is happening is that customs is working very closely with you. But you said UNBS is a...
UNBS will look at standards. We really don't have... Customs has a duty as well to stop fake products from coming in. It has a duty as well. Okay? UNBS has a duty on standards. On standards,
okay.
Okay? But you're saying that now, they are not just looking at revenue, that you're a good taxpayer. Are they looking at quality also?
No. But if you say UNBS is just about standards, because what I was going to tell you is that they are working very closely with UNBS to stop substandard goods from coming into the country. So if customs releases you and UNBS says no, these goods are not up to standard, they are not fit for human consumption in Uganda, then those goods will not be cleared out. So you have customs releasing you, but before you get the goods out of the airport or the ICD or wherever it is, UNBS also has to release you.
But now that's where the issue is. You see, many people complain. We do work with Casita, the traders. People complain that, why do you take taxes from me? Why does the same government collect taxes from me? One agency takes taxes from me. And then as I'm going out, the other agency says, no, your goods are not fit to enter the country. Why?
So what are they saying? They want it to be the other way around? UNBS first checks?
People are saying that if I come at the customs entry point and I have goods that should not be allowed in the country, then don't take my money from them.
My money.
Don't take any money from me. Why don't you just condemn the goods and say, we are confiscating them or whatever? Why do you take money from me and then later condemn me?
And then later you say the goods are not up to standard. Yeah, that's a good argument.
Shouldn't you bring this point in your association there?
Yeah, that's a very good point actually.
Of clearing agents. So 2 points I've given you now. Talk about counterfeits, because you're also eating fake things. Then also talk about the traders are complaining.
Why do you take taxes and then you say I don't take the goods? That's a
and
very
then
good
you confiscate the goods. Because as you have said, you're an intermediator, you're in the middle. the trader who appoints you and the government.
Customs, yeah.
And then the other line I'll add is the consumer. Because for us, we are now looking at you to say, you're the ones clearing. I want to be safe because I'm sure JM Freight Services cleared these goods.
That's a very good argument, actually. I'll bring it up to the board of our association and see. But on the other hand, government will tell you that, customs is there to collect taxes. So if UNBS stops these goods from coming in, then government is not collecting the taxes.
You're touching a very big button there. You're saying customs is there to collect taxes.
Yes.
Does customs balance the need for public revenue with the need to protect the public health? We need to take a break because this is a big issue that we have. What is the point of collecting so much money and then spending so much money on treating the population and so on? We need to take a break now. Yeah, we're back with the third and final segment of this conversation. We're discussing counterfeits from the perspective of clearing and forwarding business. Mr. John Ricos Swala, JM Freight Services. We broke off at a point where I was asking you to balance between the need to collect taxes and the need in the process to protect the public health. And I'll tell you that at a training I did 5 years ago for enforcement and tax officers at the URA, I posed this question to them, and I think we did not get a very clear
answer.
What is the priority? Is it public health? Is it public revenue? What do the freight forwarders and clearing association think? Or you, what do you think? What should take priority?
Me, personally, I think it should be a balance. Yeah? That government collect taxes, but government should also collect taxes on genuine goods so that the whole public is protected. And I'll still go back to the issue of medicines. Yeah? You're bringing in medicines, assuming some medicines are paying taxes. The taxes should be paid on genuine goods, because if they're not genuine, then it's going to affect you, me, and anybody in the clearing fraternity, clearing and forwarding. The children, your health, your staff, and like you said, the example you gave about your staff falling sick, suffering from malaria, and the kids, one of the kids getting malaria, taking forever to get healed because they're using fake antimalarials. Yeah. So there should be a balance between collecting taxes and also looking at the public.
So what comes first? Does the country need money first, or the country needs a healthy population first?
That's a very difficult one. And that's why I'm saying there should be a balance between, because the country needs money to do the infrastructure, to do so many things for the public. At the same time, they also need a health population. So there should be a balance.
Today, but me, I think the balance is on one side. Because JM Freight Services, I give you a shipment of 5 containers. The first thing you need, of course, you'll quote for me and say, Fred, pay me so much to move from Mombasa to here. But if you do not have a healthy driver who can drive that truck, can you be able to take the money from me to transport my container?
No.
Meaning that health comes first, not the money.
Yeah, of course, yeah. If the driver is not healthy, then they'll not be able to drive, yeah.
If there's even, So for us, we think that it is wrong as a policy to collect our tax revenue from counterfeits. I don't know what percentage it is, but a lot of this revenue you see we've collected is from fakes. Do you think that as a country we can reach middle status income or whatever status income we can develop by taxing counterfeits? By, first of all, clearing, forwarding counterfeits, and then taxing them.
Yeah, and Fred, that's why I was telling you, it will be very difficult. You know, I was relying, I thought UNBS has the mandate to also check on counterfeits and all that, but if you say that for them it's just about standards, I don't know whether URA has the mandate to check counterfeits. You say
They do have mandates.
Yeah.
They can check.
But
They
have
stop.
they? I mean, do they train their staff who are at verification at entry points to check out for counterfeits? And I don't think whether their staff know that that's part of what URA should be doing. I'm not sure whether they are sensitized on that. Maybe they are, and I'm not aware myself. But I think it's something, like you say you met tax enforcement or something.
Yeah.
Did you mention this? Were they
yes,
aware
I mentioned it to them.
Are they aware that that's one of the things they're supposed to be doing?
I think customs is trying, because we do get cases many times on behalf of brands we work for, where customs notifies you that there is this shipment here, you know, its identity and some trademark infringement. That is being done, but I think more needs to be done. Now let's go back specific to this region, to Uganda. We have a trading community, of course, but we have challenges of income, you know, of money, even with the business people. So we do a lot of consolidation or groupage shipping,
yes,
meaning you have one container, but because several traders from Uganda cannot afford to load one container, so each one puts small consignment in there.
Yeah.
So this groupage shipping, do you think that it is creating a challenge in detecting fake shipments and so on? Because you have one container with 20 different products, different consignees. Is this groupage thing, you think it's responsible for the challenges in detecting?
No, I don't think so. Because, as a matter of fact, even one importer like myself will decide to go to China and load the container with over 10 different goods. I put in shoes, I put in clothes, I put in electronics. So I don't think that would affect. Yeah.
But during the verification that you talked about, where they, first of all, if it's a container, usually there is what they call sampling. You sample the quality by not checking every shoe, but you sample one. Now, if they are different goods of different types, how do you get one sample of one type and you say you've sampled the whole container with 20 different products?
No, if they're different, if they're coming, your names, goods are coming, my name's coming, all the goods in that container will have documentation. Yeah, consigned to you because you're the one going to pay the taxes. So when they are verifying, they go by per entry. They don't verify as a whole container. It's per entry which you have lodged. One entry is in John's names, one entry is in Fred's names, one entry is his names.
So are you saying that the verification account officer will sample on each of the 20?
Ideally, that's what he should do. He should sample, he should verify and say, these are the goods, this box belongs to John. Let me verify this one as John's. This one belongs to Fred, I verify as Fred's goods. So he'll sample on each and every. That's what they're supposed to do. Whether they do it or not,
you as a clearing agent, do you actually see your staff sitting there and customs is checking a full container? Wouldn't it take forever? There is pressure for goods to be released.
Yeah, but that's what, ideally, that's what it should be. They should check them out, whether they do it or not. And also, when it's groupage, me as an agent, a groupage will have maybe about 5 people. Every person, every importer in that container will have their own agent. So once they verify my goods, I finish, another agent verifies, has theirs verified and all that. So I only focus on my client's goods. I'm not interested in the others and finish and, yeah. Because everybody will have their own agent. They appointed their own agent.
During, as we're about to close, during COVID, we've just come out of COVID, a lot of businesses collapsed and closed. I don't think clearing was affected because you are still clearing goods.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, goods were coming in. But not so much. Of course, globally there was a big problem, you know. Yeah, but we continued. I mean, the borders were open, truck drivers were coming in, but not so fast because there was testing at the border. It was slow, basically. Turnaround of trucks, for example, was very slow.
Because I saw there were lines there.
There was
even a strike.
There was a strike by drivers saying, okay, why do we have to be tested in Mombasa, then Kenya side, then Uganda side, you remember? That took about 2 weeks. Yeah.
So how
So
were
it
you
was-
handling during that time? Because the trucks were stuck. I am putting you under pressure. Where are my goods? You had signed a contract that you'll deliver within 14 days. Didn't you suffer a lot of
We suffered, yes,
legal
but
suits and action for?
not really. I think everybody understood. Personally, as my company, we did not get any of those any suit or anything, because everybody understood there was a problem. Trucks were not moving as fast as they should be moving across the borders, both ways, by the way, exports and coming in, and even empties going back, because the borders were clogged with trucks coming in, going out with exports. So there was no lawsuit. I don't know. I speak for myself. I don't know whether others got lawsuits, but otherwise
Some
there
people
was-
think that because we are now suffering high commodity prices and for some of the imported products and so on, some people think you clearing agents are the ones who are playing around to increase these prices. Maybe you are overcharging, or do you? What is causing these high prices?
high prices, I think, are being caused, for example, by freight. For example, ocean
You
freight.
are making too much money, you guys.
Ocean freight went up, for example. If
Why?
you bring
The
anything to
distance
East
is the
Africa,
same.
it's the same.
So why do
But
you
now,
overcharge?
because most shipping lines were making a lot of money moving to the United States, I'm told many stores in the US during COVID got empty. As a matter of fact, I have friends who live in the US who are telling you that buying a fridge during COVID, during or after COVID, would take, even you have to book in advance to have it delivered.
So you are saying
Yeah.
the shipping lines
Shipping lines
increased
increased charges going to the US, and it was more lucrative for them to go the other side and come to these other places.
So
East
there was a
African.
shortage of ships to bring goods to
Yes,
East Africa, for
yes,
example.
yes. And because of that, rates also went up. And now this has been made worse by the high rise in fuel prices.
No, but
also.
if the shipping line increased the price, the owner of the ship increased. You, with your trucks, why did you increase? There was also, you are also going to the US, transporting to the US. Why were you-
Mombasa to here did not really, I mean, that happened only when prices of fuel started going up. That one definitely you have to pass it on to the importer. It's not a cost that you should bear as a transporter.
Oh,
And
so
this
you're
is-
saying the inland transport charges didn't increase
no, they
until
did
the
not.
fuel prices
No,
went
they
up?
did not. It was the ocean freight which went up, because they were limited. Even up to now, I think there are limited vessels or something like that coming this way. For example, I know there's some shipping lines which are not even coming, who are not accepting exports from East Africa, because they're concentrating on the other market where they're making a lot of money. From China, they go straight to the US. And if you see, I was reading an article where some shipping lines increased their rates by over 100%. They're more than double, and they're making a lot of money to the US and all that. And yeah.
So it's challenging times still.
Yes,
For-
still
for-
challenging, yeah, but I think things will get better.
Before I leave you, these fuel prices, again, we don't understand. We think maybe there is some distortion there, somebody is faking something and making profit. Can you give us a perspective to understand this increase in fuel prices? Why? Do we have one, fuel reserves? Have we changed the supplier for the fuel? Is it that the ships are now going to the US, they no longer bring fuel? Why is the fuel price up? We don't understand.
I think this is a global thing, Fred. I talk to people in the UK, people in Europe, fuel has gone up. Generally, all over the world, I don't know that whether it's because of supply. I think in East Africa, we get most of our fuel from the Middle East. Yeah. And those people have refused, is it, to increase the output so that prices go down? It's a global thing, which me personally...
Because even you clearing agents, you pay the same price.
Yes.
So why
Everybody.
don't you make some noise there in your association? Maybe this is the third point. You call a general meeting and say these fuel things. For us as clearing agents, we are,
Fred, but this is in Kenya, it is in Tanzania, it is everywhere. So you start as
Global,
freight
okay.
It's a global thing.
call a global association meeting and say we are not accepting. We shall not move your
We shall
fuel
not move goods,
unless you reduce the price.
That one is a tall order, I think.
It's a tall order.
Yeah, it's a tall order.
John, we are happy
Yes,
to have
global,
hosted you
global.
here. Can you give us your last word to the audience, people watching you? What should we do? Maybe you've appreciated now the subject of counterfeits better. What do you feel we should do? What is your message?
No, I think, like you said, it is the responsibility of everybody, me, myself, all organizations, the government, to fight counterfeits. If only people can get sensitized. You know, many people don't understand that when counterfeits come in, or many people clear a counterfeit, you know it's a counterfeit, but you don't understand the effect. It could
That can affect you.
It can affect you, it can affect your family, it will affect your relative, you know. So if you get to know that your relative will get cancer tomorrow, and the drugs in Mulago are not the right drugs, then you know, no, I don't take this. But all that takes, I think, sensitization. If I don't know whether there's a way you'll sensitize the public,
We are doing
you
it
have
now.
air.
You are sensitizing
Yes.
now.
Okay, I don't know how many people watch this, but maybe you need airtime on TVs,
Traditional
radios,
TV, yes.
which everybody watches, and then I think, yeah, that will reduce. Most important is sensitization, Fred. If the public can be sensitized, then they will understand. Because before I touch a counterfeit, I'll know, oh, but this shoe, if I buy it for my son, will I be happy? This medicine will affect swan, so this is malaria. Anybody can fall sick anytime. Counterfeit coatem will not work. Lose my son, or my daughter, whoever, even myself. So the bottom line is sensitization. The people get to know about the counterfeits.
And since you promised to go back to your freight forwarders session,
I'll
also
bring it
do
up.
sensitization there, I think we need to end here. This is the League of the Genuine Conversation. We have been having a conversation here with the MD of GEM Freight Services, Mr. John Rick Oswara. I'm sure you have been able to pick a thing or two from the discussion. The aim of this program is to inform you so that you are empowered. You are empowered to buy genuine. You are empowered not to provide a market for counterfeits. As always, I would like to thank those who make a date with us every Friday to have and entertain and hear what we have to say. I would like to thank you for subscribing. Would encourage those who have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. We need your support. Would like to thank you for watching, for sharing, and put that notification reminder to always make a date with us. So as always, would like to sign off by asking you not to be fake, to always buy and sell genuine.